We're going to talk about the success traits of highly successful entrepreneurs. And this is going to be a teaching style video. But keep in mind that knowledge will only get you so far. Some of this stuff you may already know. What we want to do is we want to take this to the next level, and we want to begin to integrate this so that it becomes a part of your self-image. When you begin to embody these traits, it becomes a part of how you perceive yourself to be in your life and in your business. That is when you're going to begin to experience the positive results that come from having these core success traits. I'll be planting some seeds for your subconscious mind as we go through this. I want you to be mindful throughout this training of, have I been embodying any of this trait up to this point? Or have I been operating from an old mental construct that is in opposition to this particular trait? And while you're not going to be necessarily going into a lot of deep introspection because you're going to be following along, I do want to plant this seed in your subconscious that you can begin to choose moment by moment. When you feel aligned with something that we're talking about here in this training, you can decide, I am going to embody more of this. And when you make that decision, your mind is going to begin to formulate the images, even if it's very, very quick. What does that look like? How do you feel when you embody, for instance, persistence and perseverance? What does that look like? How does that show up in your life? How do you feel in your life and in your business? So I want you to take on the essence of reading a really, really engaging novel, something where you are so immersed in the story, this story of you, that you're feeling it. You are where you are right now, physically, but mentally and emotionally, you are fully immersed in the story of who you are becoming. So let's begin. The first trait that we're going to talk about is persistence and perseverance. Now, I'm just going to read this, and as I do, I want you to try this on. So success does not happen overnight, even when it appears to. If you read biographies of successful entrepreneurs, athletes, musicians, or any other mega success, you will learn about all of the struggle, disappointment, persistence, and perseverance that led up to their breakthrough. Some stories involve more struggle and heartache than others. However, even those individuals with an overall positive disposition met with adversity before achieving their ultimate goal. In life and business, there will be challenges. Persistence and perseverance is a foundational trait among successful entrepreneurs. Your ability to pick yourself up when you're tired, frustrated, feel rejected, or doubt begins to creep in will determine whether you have what it takes to make big things happen in your life and business. Maybe you don't want big things, and that's okay. However, if you're completely honest with yourself about your heart's desires, you will have to decide, will you settle, or will you go within to find the inner power to make it happen? So have you been of the mindset that even when adversities occur, when things don't work out as well as you would have liked, when you haven't had the smashing success that you were hoping for, are you able to pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and get back in the game? Or do you go in to self-doubt, criticism, feeling sorry for yourself, becoming a victim of circumstances? I want you to do a little bit of an honest introspection on this. And if you have been doing some of those undesirable things, you haven't fully and completely embodied the trait of persistence and perseverance, what would it look like? What would it feel like? How does it feel to be someone who knows that I'm going to do whatever it takes to create what my heart truly desires? Because I know this is not just some wishy-washy desire. This is something deeper, more meaningful to me. This is here for a reason. I have this desire for a reason. And whatever stuff I'm bumping up against, I know I can overcome it. So who are you being when you are completely 100% locked in to your commitment? The commitment to follow your heart, to see it through. Next, we want to talk about confidence, another success trait. A common misconception about confidence is that you must have it before you take action. In truth, confidence is developed through action and the development of your skills. The challenge for most people is they have fear. Fear leads to inaction, and inaction reduces the confidence you have. This creates a negative cycle which builds momentum, making it nearly impossible to move forward. In order to develop the confidence you need, you will have to resolve your fears and insecurities. Then commit to take action. Step by step, you will increase your confidence. With every new accomplishment, you are developing yourself. When you know that even if you're scared as hell, you'll do it anyways, and you will get through it, that's when you begin to exude confidence. People notice that depth of confidence. It is a powerful leadership quality and an important success trait. So where have you been out of alignment with your confidence? For a lot of business owners, they recognize areas where they lack confidence. It might be sales calls. It could be public speaking. It could be promoting yourself on social media. There are a lot of different ways that confidence issues show up. And the tools that we're talking about are in your Inner Game Academy membership. It is going to include the EFT. Remember, you've got your EFT training in the resources and tools section, and your clearing statement. And your work is going to be to get really honest with yourself about where you're experiencing fear and cleaning that up. When you shift from the energy of fear, you're going to move up into a state of relief. And from relief, then you can begin to play around with this idea in your mind of being confident in that situation. So we can use visualization, we can use hypnosis, we can just simply play around in our mind. What does it look like? What does it feel like to be confident? So think of one of those areas where you know you have some fear and you have lacked confidence. Now, just acknowledge, when I think about it, there's an uncomfortable feeling. Maybe doubt comes in. I'm never going to be able to change this. I can't possibly be confident in this area. I'd love to be confident, but I can feel the fear. Well, I'm going to ask you to just acknowledge it is what it is. I feel the way that I feel. Let those feelings flow through. The feelings will leave if you allow them to come up. They will pass through. Most people, when they feel the negative feeling, they immediately begin repressing it. They try to push it away. They try to positive self-talk themselves out of it, but they're not actually acknowledging this is just a feeling and I can let it pass. If you will allow yourself to let the fear or whatever that negative feeling is, let it come up and let it pass through, you'll begin to move into relief. From relief, now I want you to ask yourself, how would I prefer to feel in this situation? For instance, if it is talking on the phone, you may imagine yourself doing so very comfortably, feeling a sense of confidence and inner peace. Perhaps you can recall the confidence that you feel when you're talking to someone you're very comfortable with, when you can be that more confident, empowered version of you. And you may not think to yourself, I'm confident when I'm talking to a friend on the phone, but you are. And so when you can remember that feeling, now you bring that feeling into this other experience in your mind. So what does it feel like to have that feeling of inner peace? I'm comfortable in my skin. I'm breathing comfortably. I'm sitting up straight. I feel really good about this. And no matter how this conversation goes, I'm going to be okay. It's all right. It's all good. I know I'm valuable. I know I have something good to offer here. And if it's not the right fit, that's okay. Notice you're not coming from scarcity. You're not coming from fear of judgment. You're just in a different state, a different mindset. And when you practice that empowering, positive sense of confidence in that situation where in the past you felt a lack of confidence, you're reprogramming your mind with the new association. So powerful. How many times have you practiced the fear-based thought, the fear-based vision in your mind? You think about doing the thing where you lack confidence and you feel that old negative feeling. You're practicing it again. You're reconditioning it again. We've got to stop that cycle. We're going to notice when the fear comes up. We're going to break the pattern by allowing the fear to pass through. And then we're going to shift. We're going to pivot to, how do I want to feel in this situation? And then we're going to conjure up that image, that feeling of you doing the thing, feeling the way that you want to feel. We're reconditioning the subconscious mind. Very powerful. Do this over and over and over again. Okay. Like I just said, how many times have you conditioned the negative old response? Now we want to start to condition the empowering, positive, new, improved response. Okay, our next one is a definite purpose or goal. Now, we started out this program talking about your goal, what it is that your heart truly desires. We're going to get into this in a slightly different context now, and I'm going to talk about the importance of having this clarity. Successful people know where they are going. It is not enough to want something. You have to want it so much that you will accept nothing else. Most people experience little bits of this throughout their life, but never get clear enough on what they really want and why for their life or business. Have you ever made a decision to do something when at the time of the decision, you had no idea how it was possible, yet you were absolutely certain you would make it happen? And it did happen. Some common examples of this include deciding to leave an unhealthy marriage or relationship, deciding to quit smoking or drinking alcohol, deciding to make some change that would transform your life. At the time, it was terribly uncomfortable to change, yet you knew with 100% certainty and conviction that you must change. You were going to do it, and you did. If there was one secret to success, just one that I could give you that could change your life, it is this. When you decided with conviction to change, then there is nothing that can stop you. There is no turning back. That's when you will achieve your goal. And I want to elaborate on this because a lot of people think that they are committed, when in fact, if we really look at what's going on within them, there is a wishy-washiness, there is self-doubt, and that is actually adversely influencing their commitment. These examples that I used, we all have something, maybe not as extreme as leaving a disempowering relationship or quitting an addictive behavior. But everyone has something, usually multiple things, some change that they made in their life. Maybe it was ending a toxic friendship. It could be deciding to quit a job that was unfulfilling. But we've all been in situations where when we're in the problem, whatever that less than ideal circumstance is in our life, we are not entirely sure how we can possibly achieve something better, how we can create something better, how we can successfully get out of the negative situation and into a positive, more empowering situation. Sometimes it's referred to as rock bottom. When you hit your rock bottom, whatever that is, the only other choice besides completely crash and burn is you've got to go up from here. Now, we don't have to hit a low rock bottom in order to create change. It just has to be when we have reached a point where what we are doing to ourselves that doesn't feel good is in direct conflict with our core values. That's usually when we will make a decision, a real, true, committed decision. I'm going to make this positive change in my life. And what we're talking about here is a purpose, a goal that is aligned with your heart's desires. So if you want to create a more successful business for yourself, are you truly committed to that? Now, I want you to challenge why you may not be. Why might you still be in that sort of wishy-washy, allowing doubt and fear and insecurities to hold you back when you know that you've overcome uncomfortable circumstances before? And when you shifted your mindset and you made that committed decision to change that circumstance, you did. You were able to change your circumstances and improve your life. So I want you now to imagine, what does it look like? What does it feel like to have that level of commitment to achieving your true heart's desires, your genuine, authentic goal? Next, we're going to move on to the ability to manage stress and stay positive. The ability to manage stress, see the good in all circumstances, including what appears to be negative, and take 100% responsibility for your thoughts, emotions, actions, and results is essential. Perhaps the greatest hindrance for most people regarding our internal disposition is a belief that circumstances in life happen to us. That makes you a victim. When you subconsciously believe that you are not in control, that you do not have the power to change your circumstances, or that other people's choices determine how you feel, then you have given your power away. Successful people know that they have the divine right to choose. You are co-creating your life in each moment based upon your choices. This can be a hard lesson to accept, but if you truly embody this awareness, you will feel much more calm, empowered, and in control regardless of circumstances around you. Now, there are a couple of traits that are actually interwoven into this one, and one of them is taking 100% responsibility. a lot of people really get tripped up about what that actually means. They immediately feel like that is accepting blame. So if something bad happens to me, that means that I have to blame and shame myself for that, even though that other person did that thing to hurt me. And I can see that clearly that was not right. What 100% responsibility means is that you participated on some level with the creation of that experience, whether it was conscious or unconscious. More than likely it was unconscious. You chose to be in a precarious place and something negative happened to you. You accept responsibility that your inner guidance probably told you you weren't supposed to be there and you did not listen. But beyond 100% responsibility, it does not mean placing blame. It means I'm understanding how the laws of the universe work and that I, on some level, co-created this experience, whether I like it or not. And how I respond and react to this is within my ability to control, and I can change my future circumstances by making empowering choices about how to perceive this, how to feel about this, and what to do about this. So when we are a victim of circumstances, when we're not taking 100% responsibility for how we feel and acknowledging that we have the ability to shift our perception of these circumstances, raise our vibration, be in a more empowered mindset. If we're being the victim, we cannot change anything. We cannot change that circumstance. It is a very low vibration. It's incredibly disempowering, and it contributes to stress. And it contributes to what we could refer to as negative momentum, meaning more or less than ideal circumstances follow. Once we get into being disempowered and being the victim, whether it's we're unhappy because we're not getting enough clients, enough customers, there's not enough money coming in, this, that, or whatever didn't work out very well, our team member let us down, somebody screwed us over, whatever the situation may be. When you are the victim, instead of being responsible for how you think and how you feel and the actions you're going to take, that tends to spiral into more negativity, more disempowerment, more negative things happening to you, more issues with clients or customers or employees or whatever. So in this program, there are tools to help you to work through some of your old stuff, some of the old beliefs and patterns that clearly have not been serving you, that are keeping you stuck as the victim of this recurring pattern, the victim of this reoccurring feeling, the victim of I don't ever have enough money, or I can't trust anyone, or I'm awkward, or whatever that old story is. We want to use our tools, clean this up, and get into the habit of shifting from being the victim of our old patterns to being empowered to change our perception, change our mindset, change our beliefs, change our attitude, our energy, and therefore change our results. Next, the ability to overcome fears and limiting beliefs. Obviously, this is where the tools are really coming in, and all of these things are sort of intertwined. So for this one, we're just going to keep this very, very, very short. Now, successful people find ways to work through their stuff. In many cases, it is working with a mentor, someone who holds them accountable to a higher standard, who knows that they have potential and keeps that vision of their potential even when they themselves might be doubting their potential or their abilities. Regardless of whether or not you are working with a mentor or a coach above and beyond anything that you may be doing in this program, I want you to remember that the tools are just tools. There is no magic tool. There is no magic technique. There is no one modality that will magically eradicate every one of your problems. The mind can be very, very tricky. It wants to hold on to its current conditioning. So we want a variety of tools, and we want to practice these different tools and techniques. And we find how we best utilize the tools and techniques so they're most effective for us. We learn how it feels to shift old limiting beliefs. We learn how it feels to catch ourselves when we're going into negativity or being triggered, and how we can shift ourselves out of that and into that more empowered mindset. The tools are there to support us. Reach for the tools that are going to be most effective for you. And this is what this trait is about. It's about that awareness. What works for me? What helps me? How do I get myself out of the triggered state? How do I break through this limiting belief that I've identified? Is it, working with my coach? Is it utilizing this modality? Is it doing a little bit of this and a little bit of that? But I want you to just notice throughout this program, how are you receptive to shifting? How are you receptive to change? Are you becoming more mindful of your triggered state? Are you becoming more aware of those subtle shifts that occur within you that help you to move from that disempowered state up into that more empowered state? When you start to take notice of these things, you really embody it at a deeper level, and it makes it so much easier to break through these things as you encounter them when you are growing, because you will continue to encounter your old stuff. That's normal. I've been working with very successful business owners for a very long time, and I can promise you that no matter how much money someone has in the bank or how many years they've been doing their inner work, they are still bumping up against stuff that they need to work through. Okay, next we have excellent communication skills. The ability to communicate your wants and needs is a foundational success trait. More specifically, the ability to communicate in a way that causes other people to say yes to what you're presenting. I'm not referring to manipulation tactics or trickery. I'm referring to communicating clearly, confidently, and with appropriate emotion. Think about a time when you were really impressed with something, whether it was a movie, a product, a service, and you told a friend about it. Recall how you spoke, your energy, your tonality, the conviction in your words. That is the way successful people communicate about their product, service, or agenda. Some people would refer to this as charisma. When you really believe in what you are offering, what you are saying, what you are sharing, what you're communicating, the way that you present yourself is charismatic. It is clear. It moves people. And even if they don't agree with you, they tend to respect your point of view. Now, think about this in the other context when maybe you're doubting yourself. That gets picked up on also. And you'll notice that when doubt comes through, if you're trying to explain something that is maybe a new concept, and when you originally heard that concept, you had a light bulb moment, it clicked, it felt aligned, you're like, yes, absolutely. But then you go to try to share that with someone else, and you notice you're stumbling over your words and you're second guessing yourself, and you're starting to feel a little self-doubt. Well, you haven't really fully embodied that level of belief, that level of understanding, that level of commitment and conviction. And so when you're trying to communicate, it's not clear, it's not effective, and it isn't typically well received. So in your business, in order to be successful, you have to know your product, your service, inside and out, so that you can communicate clearly and you can speak with conviction. Now, this is something that I want you to contemplate. Has your product or service truly helped someone, anyone, a client, a customer, family member, you yourself? And when you think about that, does that feel aligned? Does that feel good? Does that feel right and good and true and high vibrational? Now, when you allow yourself to tap in to that energy and you speak from that mental, emotional, and vibrational state, when that's active within you, how you present yourself, what you say, how it conveys, and the energy you're emitting, which is picked up on by the other person or people subconsciously, so much more powerful. So I want you to play with this one a little bit and imagine having that degree of conviction. And when you communicate, you have that essence of confidence and clarity. You're not trying to do anything to anyone. You're not trying to manipulate or coerce anyone into anything. You know in your heart that what you're offering is good, and that if it is aligned with that other person and they are ready, willing, and able to say yes to themselves, then it is a perfect match. And if for some reason they're not, that's okay. In fact, you don't want to work with a client or customer who is not a vibrational match, because that sucks, okay? And if you're coming from a place of scarcity, you'll notice that your communication becomes more about manipulation than about love, honor, and respect. Next, effective sales and marketing skills. So obviously important in business, and yet one of the things that a lot of business owners are consistently struggling with. As a business owner, you must understand and accept that without sales and marketing, there is no business. A common misconception about sales and marketing is that it has to be sleazy or manipulative. In truth, there are ways to market and sell your product or service that are authentic and of high integrity. You choose the methods. Successful entrepreneurs embrace sales and marketing, and they continue to learn and improve their skills. Now, we could break this down very, very simply to just keep learning how to effectively sell and market your products and services. But it's not really that cut and dry, because our ability to feel aligned with the way that we are marketing and selling our products and services is so much more important than all of the actions, all of the marketing dollars, all of the strategy, all of the tactics combined. So this is where you're going to have to first be willing to clean up any of your limiting beliefs around sales and marketing. So I'm going to encourage you to do an honest assessment of what your beliefs about this are. Do you have resistance to sales? Do you think it's sleazy? Do you think it's manipulative? Do you feel like people don't want to be sold to? Now, it's interesting because we all love to go out and spend money. We all love to buy stuff, but no one likes the classic old salesy pitch. Someone trying to convince us to buy something. It doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel aligned. Nobody likes it because it's basically someone's energy, right? They're trying to kind of like take from you instead of offering from a place of non-attachment. If you're walking through like a shopping center, for instance, and you've got the people in the kiosks or standing outside of the different shops, and they're trying to get your attention and wave you down and, hey, come try this, and it's like, oh, no thank you, right? But now you've got someone who is in a very different energy, and you can just feel they're happy, they're positive, they're in a good mood, they're not in any type of scarcity or neediness or trying to get their quota from a place of lack or whatever. It's a very different feeling. In fact, it can be magnetic. You can find yourself wanting to purchase things that maybe otherwise you're not even that interested in some cases. So energy is so critically important in this equation. When you are doing any type of sales or marketing, I want you to be very honest about the mental, emotional, vibrational state that you're in. Are you desperate? Are you frustrated? Are you resistant? Just take a pause and clean up your energy. Get your head straight before you continue on with that activity. Because energy conveys. We live in this vibrational universe. Everything is energy. And so imagine for a moment, you're putting the energy of desperation out there in your marketing copy, in your phone messages. What is going to be a vibrational match to that? Not so good. But if you're coming from a high vibrational, abundant place of love and service and loving what you do and knowing that what you offer is freaking awesome and that for the right people, it's going to be transformational, what you're putting out is magnetic to your ideal clients and customers. So I really encourage you, as you're contemplating, what am I doing to market my products and services? How do my sales conversations go? What is my sales process, my sales funnel, whatever? What is the energy in that? Do you need to do a little cleanup work? Do you need to hit the vibrational reset button? Now, I want you to start to look at sales and marketing through this new lens, because you cannot out-action misalignment. And our last trait, now we're going to wrap up this training, is a positive money mindset. Yes, I've said it before. I'm going to say it again. Make sure you utilize within the Inner Game Academy your money mindset intensive that is going to go deep, deep, deep into this topic. Although successful entrepreneurs have a very different money mindset than those who struggle or maintain the status quo, a large majority of them did not come from wealthy families. In fact, the mass majority of wealthy and successful entrepreneurs had significant financial adversity to work through. If you ever find yourself making the excuse that your past or upbringing is the reason you struggle, I recommend you choose 5 biographies of successful individuals and read them all the way through. You might just find that several of them had it much worse than you. The key to shifting your mindset is consistent daily exposure to the truth. That includes reading books about business, success, universal laws, and personal development. It also includes investing in yourself and implementing your new learnings. Attend events or associate with people who either are successful or are on their way to becoming successful. Get clear on your goals and true heart's desires. Surround yourself with positive reminders to stay motivated and inspired. Get a coach or mentor to teach you a new way of being and doing so you can align with having what you want. The key takeaway here is it does not matter where you came from, and it sure as hell doesn't even matter where you are right now. I don't care if you have been in scarcity for the past 5, 10, 15, 20 years. You can change. Now, it may take a little bit of effort, but it can be done. And I'm going to leave you with this because we're not going to get super deep into this one right here, because like I said, you've got your entire money mindset intensive that you can start to work through this stuff. I want you to start to imagine, how will I feel when money is easier for me? How will I feel when I have a different money mindset? How will I feel when I know that my business is something that I love and a vehicle to be of service for people and a super easy way for source energy, the universe, God, whatever you want to say, to flow money through my clients and customers to me because I'm a vibrational match to the abundance? There's probably going to be some cleanup work that you're going to need to do. Use your tools to work through these things. And remember, we create from our point of attraction. What you focus on is what you create. So if you're focused on scarcity, you will create more scarcity. If you focus on the feeling of abundance, you'll gather positive momentum on that vibration and you'll begin to experience these circumstances and events in your life that can help you to realize that abundance. So we are going to wrap up this lesson. I know that this was a lot to take in and we planted a lot of seeds, and you're going to want to continue to do your work. Just keep going through this stuff. Keep doing the good work. You are doing great. And of course, reach out if you need any additional support, and we will see you in another video.